I hope you're doing great. We're going to talk about preparedness. We're going to talk about, are you really ready for what's coming? And we're going to talk about a transition that every single person that is preparing right now, preppers or business people, there's a transition you have to make because you're going to go poor and you're going to be afraid your entire life. So Jesse's with me. We just finished filming 3 videos, I think, 3 new lessons for the Auto Seller Pro course, the Home Seller Pro course, and the Real Estate Crash course, which you own that one. And we just went to his very first home flip project, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But are you walking away with a different mentality now?
My stomach is sunk a little bit, not because of fear, doubt, or worry, rather the gravity of the decision that we have to make when we're investing in real estate. You have to figure out what's the best course of action for each property.
Yeah. So I flew up to see this property because I think all in all, it's an amazing deal. You can make money 5 or 6 different ways, actually, that we identified for the class. But it's going to probably come in the way that you did not expect, is it?
Oh, definitely.
You're going to walk away probably wholesaling, but you're going to make money. All right. And if you don't wholesale it, the cool thing is, because you bought it in the amount, the terms and everything we're bitching, you're going to be able to save money and you're going to be able to make money down the road, right?
Right.
Okay, cool.
There's security, there's protection around it.
Yeah. Now we got a lot of people on YouTube that are preparing for the worst and hoping for the best, hopefully. But a lot of people they've got this bunker mentality, and I'm totally against that.
Yeah.
I'm all about being prepared. Talk about the 5 preparedness steps.
Yeah, I think for most of us right now, we're talking about real estate. Yet before we get into the point where we're beginning to expand our territory as a preparedness household, if you choose to prescribe to this, there's 5 key areas that you must plug the holes up first before you start stretching. So obviously food and water are necessary for us to have in reserves. Power, energy, being able to produce power, medical supplies, and making sure that you can care for yourself when the stores go empty. And then there's protection. And cordless hole punchers, freedom seeds, what do they call them? All those
bullets.
Things. Bullets. Making sure that you're protected in those 5 areas. Once you have those 5 areas established, boy, it's time for you to start stretching and gaining wisdom. Sometimes we have to pay for wisdom.
So let's talk about gaining wisdom. Let's talk about getting rich, because that's what's important. I'm not joking. Money buys you time. Money makes you more of what you already are. If you're a good person, you're gonna be better with money. If you're a crappy person, you're gonna be really crappy with more money.
Big crappier?
No. Bigger, crappier. But here's the thing. There needs to be a point where you can only prepare so much, and then you need to start going out and crushing it. And there's too much of this bunker mentality. Let's talk about when you're now expanding more. You've always earned a good income.
Yeah,
But you didn't always have a lot to show for it.
No. I've been perfect at squandering. I've been a squanderer.
Yeah, and you've changed a lot in the last year and a half. So now we just witnessed your first ever flip.
Correct.
And you're going to crush it. The level at which you crush it is only marked, or it's only going to be the size at which your mind can expand, right? And sometimes we have to rein back the reins and go, okay, maybe I'm going to make a little bit less than I thought on this one, but I'm also going to work a lot less, and then we're going to take that money and we're going to flip it into the next thing. And that's really important, right? Here's the thing that I want you to understand. When you're a prepper and you save food, you do all this stuff, regardless if nothing happens, if the world doesn't end tomorrow, if all of a sudden there's not some massive earthquake, all stuff, what it does is it gives you peace. That's huge. See, there's so many people that lose financial freedom because they lose their peace. And you need to maintain your peace. Well, part of getting peace is having knowledge and understanding, but also having a safety net built around you. Well, you've got that safety net.
Right.
Now you're witnessing, or you're a part of that next step. You're like, I've already been a real estate professional for a long time. Now you're moving into real estate investor. I mean, you've owned homes.
Right.
That's nothing. But now you're going into the development side.
That's right.
And you're going at what I believe the greatest time ever, because you have to be very aware of the dangers, right? Can you list some dangers that we sort of brought up today of, what could hurt you in buying real estate right now?
Yeah, fair enough. Overspending, definitely. Walking into issues that you don't see on the front end. Oftentimes when we're selecting properties, whether investing or purchasing or selling, you can't do destructive inspections. You can't open the walls up and see what's behind. Has rodents done this? Or going under the home, oftentimes you can't really see all of the components initially.
Yeah.
So you have to be ready with contingency.
Yep.
To manage those.
You know, it's funny. We walked onto this property, and it's a smelly one. It's gnarly. It's gnarly, and I've seen a lot of homes. Yeah, especially as a firefighter. And we walked away with me already planning on, okay, we're burning this one down or bringing another one in. We don't have to.
No.
But I was able to show you that when I'm like, oh, let's look at your budget. What's your budgeting for repairs? You know, have you ever considered an entirely new build? And you're like, holy cow, I didn't even think about that. And especially using the people that right now, the properties I was showing you earlier on Facebook,
right? They
don't have anyone lining up to buy those. You're in the driver's seat. And so I think there's going to be some really neat things, but I think you're going to wholesale this so fast anyway. It's insane. And you're going to make money.
We're going to make money.
Yeah. And you're going to roll that over into the next distressed property.
It's super important for us if we're stepping out. Like, obviously you've invested in loads of homes.
Yeah.
You've done this for a long time. Yeah. The only reason that we're even sitting here right now is from the channel where we were connected and beginning to give ourselves confidence to be able to do this.
Yeah.
And it's very important right now for those of us that have enough bandwidth to start, that we make great decisions and we understand where our variables are to make those good decisions.
Yeah, you know, I'm also going to pin a link to your channel, The Shielded Prepper. You should go check him out. Jesse talks about a lot of preparedness and stuff like that. But I'll also pin some discount links to the courses and stuff. We've already talked about it. You've owned both courses, right?
Yep.
But let me ask you this. We're going to edit these videos and they're going to see them on the courses, right? On both of those courses. What did you take away from, I didn't see the property. I got on and started talking. What did you take away the most about, you had all these hopes and dreams. I probably smashed half of them.
Yeah, you did smash half of them. And yet it wasn't something that you can't expect. Wow, the value of having fresh eyes. Fresh eyes also that have experience behind them, so that when they share wisdom, not to cut you off, rather to lead you down a course where you're going to be able to achieve the best result. Yep. And sometimes the best result is not our plans.
Totally. So it wasn't to cut down your ideas, it's to sort of drive you into maybe a different direction, right?
Yeah.
Like I talk about on the course, we need to be able to figure out how to make money multiple ways, because the more ways you have money, the different avenues you go down, the more safety nets you have during a crash.
Right.
And you're seeing a lot changing in the real estate market.
Oh man. And the things that we're seeing on the street, the heartbeat on the street is very different than the metrics that come out in the news.
And the reason for that is because all those metrics are government numbers that are a recording of history. And we just saw the change. When we saw home mortgages go from 5.5 to 7.5, that was it. That overtook the average buyer. And so buyers are gone. They are gone. And it's going to get a lot better.
And this is why we're stretching right now, because we have to get ahead of where that shift is. If we've been prescribing to much of the content on this channel, we're already making moves now because we're looking down the road. I mean, when we first started, you've been pounding this war drum for years.
Yeah.
And it's starting to happen, and it's a slow collision, and we're watching it happen before our eyes.
Totally. And that's why I put out the courses in a specific time period, because I don't want to give people enough rope to, wet themselves, because people see like a dip of 10% and like, oh, it's about to get a lot better. This is so much bigger. It's like, don't dive in. Now with yours, it's exciting because you're buying at the peak. You're going to have the most pressure on you to sell that house in the quickest amount of time. And that's one of the things that we went over, is the timelines of when you've got to get that listed. That house is going to be listed now tomorrow, won't it?
It's going to be going in. Yeah, it's getting put together tonight.
Yeah, because we have weather factors. We've got time of year factors. We've got insurability. We've got all kinds of stuff that we've got to deal with, right? With potential buyers. So that's the kind of stuff that I want you thinking about, because now it's opening up his mind to, when I showed him these different types of trailers and how to buy them and how to take advantage of people not being able to sell them. Now all of a sudden you're thinking, and I'm saying this now, can you imagine if you had a lot and you started getting smoking deals on these models, these park models, and you started just storing them?
Where should I put those?
Exactly. But you know what I mean? Even on your current property, you can start backing up really nice deals, and they're just sitting there stored for the next time you buy a house, a tear down mobile home, and you're like, I already got a park model put on it. You've got the inventory.
That's true.
Just sitting there.
And just so you know, the ninja really knows about park models, tractors, palm trees, trains.
Yeah.
He knows about all these things.
Yeah, well, we didn't bring up trains
Yeah.
in the real estate flip. Yeah. Oh, we're going to put a train over here. It's going
Yeah.
to bring lots of value. But my point being is that, like I was showing you, yeah, you're going to spend X amount for a company to come through here and clean up all this vegetation, where you can spend that much on your own skid steer, have it for the next project, write it off, and then go through in like 5 hours and clear the property out yourself.
Right.
So there's all kinds of ways. There's more than one way to skin a cat, they say. It's the same thing with home flips.
Well, and we also have to understand that as you go through this, not all of us are apples to apples in our skill.
Yeah.
And some of us can't sit on a skid steer and do that, or some of us can't replace a window or hang a door.
Well, when we talked about your roof, the cost of resheeting a roof, and I said, that one quote may be an owner-operator that doesn't have his own equipment, whereas one company comes in and has an excavator with a dozer blade and comes up and just scrapes that thing so quick to throw it away. It's just all about the size of the equipment. That's why it's important to get multiple quotes, things like that.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
Every single time.
Yeah.
All of the preparedness of being able to search for properties, to write offers on properties, to put properties under contract and to close on properties, it's all a metrics, and it's going to require us, if we intend on taking new ground and owning real estate, for us to be prepared right now and see the things, so when opportunity does come, we're ready to go.
Totally agree. And so this is what you're witnessing is Jesse, a very high functioning real estate agent, high performing agent, very good at sales. It understands his local market, moving into the investment side, totally new, totally fresh. And so it's really cool to see you going this transformation, because I get people, real estate agents and brokers all the time, that have taken the course and they're like, I never saw. Once you see the cycles, you go, oh my gosh, now I know when to buy, and then I know when to sell.
Yep.
And that's going to get really exciting, because 2024 is not going to be the bottom, but it's going to be darn near close.
Yeah.
And you're going to see things reshuffle, because when we see the census data come out in next January, that's going to take into consideration a lot of these spec homes that are selling in this inventory, is going to blow your minds.
Yep.
And then we have obviously the inventory that's being purchased by third parties, like hedge funds, things like that.
Well, and I'm just going to end with this, and this is more for the ninja as a nod. Proverbs 22 verse 3 says that a prudent man foreseeth evil and hideth himself. It doesn't say cower and fear, it says hide. Because right now, the simple, it goes on, it says the simple pass by and are punished. And the simple aren't seeing what much of us are seeing right now. Now's the time for wisdom. Wisdom is something acquired, and it costs you something. For those of you that have been on the line with the side hustle course, as well as on the real estate course, I truly encourage you to give careful consideration to the timing right now to educate ourselves. We are part of a circle right now. And obviously having the ninja sit here with me is one thing, yet this is from me to you as part of the same group that prescribes the information that we've all been receiving coming through Travis in different ways and different influencers. Now's the time to be seeding for a future harvest.
Yeah, and some of the most valuable things you could do is not doing anything in this time of the cycle. As a matter of fact, I got to say, thank you for saying that, by the way. Dude, thank you. Carlos is in the house. I met him in a liquor store, at Bevmo, and we were talking about inflation. And
Carlos, cigarettes and Bevmo.
Yeah. Carlos is great, and that led to him selling his restaurant of, I want to say, like 25, 30 years. And now he looks back and he goes, oh my gosh, I just missed it. And he had a hard time selling that property. And it was a pretty iconic restaurant. And you watch, see, Carlos is going to jump in probably right here. Yeah, he's in. And he saw how late in the game he was to sell that property. And he is an ex-house flipper and real estate investor.
He's done dozens.
And he says, he's like, I've never been more excited in my life and I didn't know he'd bought the course either. I'm like, why are you buying the course? I'd give it to you, And he's like, he goes, no, and my cousin bought the course, and I'm like, why are you doing this? My buddy's like, I'll give it to you. And he goes, I had to buy it to really get the most out of it.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. And that's why, honestly, and I'm not joking, that's why it's always $200, $250. I want the masses to have it.
Yeah.
Because once you have ownership, you put the time into learning it.
We've always known that free always tastes better, yet it's short-lived. And when we pay for something, we know that we're connected. And I, too, have paid for both of them.
Yeah.
Part of it is to support the channel, yet at the same time, what don't I know that if I knew it would make everything else easier? That's what I'm looking for. And if you're like me, Put a 1 in the comment.
Yeah, you're doing what I do. Yeah, but still, check this out though. This is something else that's really important. You're about to see, because I flew up here and you know, me and my son came up here to film. You're going to see all the lessons live in a video that's edited. But I didn't know anything about this property. I got out and I said, okay, this is what we're looking at. These are my notes. This is what I'm looking at. You know, he didn't even show me the comps. This is what I would do this property. There's 5 different things I could do this property and how we could sell it and how we could make money 5 different ways. And so you're going to see Jesse go through all of that learning curve with me. So I treat this course, because once you buy the course, you own it, right? As we put more content out, it's like a consulting job. I used to be a consultant for real estate projects, for business, building workshops, things like that. I can only be so many places. And I was charging like $400 or $500 for 30 minutes and I was booked because I could always solve a problem. That's my gift, right? And so like he says, he goes, when you buy something, you invest in yourself, you're gonna use it and run with it. So I thank you for doing that. Like this is life-changing for me as well. Like I'm not even joking. Like this is changing my life rapidly. And I so badly want to be gone from my full-time career and be just traveling the country, videotaping your flips and also my flips. You know, because I want to encourage you to become wealthy. And the only way I can do that is get you to believe in yourself. That's the hardest thing. You know, and I mean, you're going to go through that. You had to believe in yourself enough to buy this. Now you're in it. And now the countdown's starting. Got to get it listed. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
I can't wait either.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, I'm going to put a link to his course down, or his course, your channel down below. And I'm also putting links to the lowest price ever on the side hustle course, $199 and $250 for the crash course, real estate crash course. And next week, Juan said he's going to have it all edited up and then you get a second course for free. So I hope you have a great day. For Jesse, AJ, and the Ninja, we're out.